Hey there, Thick Thoughts. We have a very special announcement. We are now on Patreon. That's patreon.com/thickthoughts. If you don't know, Patreon is a platform in which if you want, you can pledge some sweet dollar bills to us every month and get lots of cool stuff in return. For instance, want a special episode every month? Or how about access to live streams? Or just to see what we're working on? For more info, head over to patreon.com/thickthoughts. But don't worry, if you can't pledge, we love you, and the podcast will remain free and amazing every single Thick Thought Thursday. Just by listening and sharing, you are the thickest of thoughts. Again, for more info, it's patreon.com/thickthoughts. And now, back to the episode.
No, for future Ellie, edit this out. Edit all of it out. Please just don't post any of it. Okay, thanks.
Ellie, edit this whole episode out. Thank you. And with that, welcome to the Thick Thoughts podcast. I'm Ellie.
I'm Sarah.
And today we have the wonderful guest, MirandaLovesCarbs, the one that we talk about pretty much in every episode several times.
Like basically fangirl her every single week, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome, Miranda.
Hi. Hello.
So, Miranda, thank you for joining us. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your journey and how you came to be mentioned on the Thick Thoughts podcast every week?
And how much you love carbs. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Also, what is your favorite carb?
My favorite, do I start with that? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
My favorite carb is probably, I really like donuts, but like Sarah's name is Sarah Donut Care, so can I really make that my favorite carb?
We can love it also. We can love it together. It can be a polygamous carb.
I like donuts and bread, all the bread, so whatever. I really like all carbs. It's fine. I don't discriminate. So just start from the beginning, I guess.
Yeah. When did you come out of your mother's womb?
I came out of my mother's womb on a stormy day in March of 1990. It was so. I don't even know where to start. Do you really want me to start at my birth?
No. I mean, you can tell it like. So you tell us what brought you to like weight loss surgery, I guess.
And the weight loss surgery. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been tall pretty much my entire life and overweight, but the tall part always played a factor because people would be like, oh, you weigh so much just because you're tall, and it's like, well, I mean, no, but okay. And I'm only 5'7" now, but I've been 5'7" since like 6th grade. And the first time I ever remember anyone being like, you're kind of fat, or like even noticing it, was in 2nd grade. And this is so messed up for like 2nd graders. You had to make your little chart that's like, my name's Miranda and my favorite food is tacos and I have a brother, like just a chart about yourself, and you hang it up in the classroom, you know? And you have to put your height and your weight, which is like, what? Why would you make 2nd graders put their weight up on the wall for everyone else to see? But I remember I weighed like 85 pounds and everyone else weighed like 60. And the teacher's like, oh, don't worry about that. It's just because you're tall. And I was like, okay, I didn't know it was like a thing. Like that was the first time, because no one in my family was ever like, you're fat, but like everyone in my family is fat too. So yeah, that was like the first like seed put into my brain that there was something wrong with me, basically. And then unlike most people, my weight just like got higher and higher and higher. Like I never yo-yoed. It was just like a steady increase forever.
Very, oh shoot, I was going to say something, but then I couldn't remember the word. So never mind, just go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you're consistent. That's what I was going to say.
Consistently getting fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter. And like, I had tried like Weight Watchers, and I worked with a personal trainer for like 18 months, and I had tried a bunch of things. Like I wasn't unaware that I was obese. It was just like, I was always also kind of fat fit, I think is what we've talked about before. Sarah and I have talked about that before, being like active but still obese. But I didn't have mobility issues. I wasn't pre-diabetic. Like health-wise, there wasn't anything wrong with me per se. I was just fat forever and just kept getting fatter and fatter, and like no real reason why besides obviously like metabolism doesn't work very well and you eat a bunch of tacos. Like that's probably why you're getting fatter and fatter. So then August of 2017, I was just like, had come off a stretch of working out with a personal trainer 3 days a week for over a year and not losing any weight. And I said something to my doctor. I was like, listen, I'm sick of being fat and I don't know what else to do. And she was like, here's some diet pills, like phentermine or whatever they prescribe to people.
So like meth basically is what.
Yeah. She was like, here, try these pills. These should work. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. And they didn't work. So then I was talking to one of my friends, and she actually had a coworker that just had weight loss surgery. She had VSG. And she was like, I'm sick of seeing you struggle with this. Can you just like reach out to her? 'Cause she's had success. And I was like, whatever, like weight loss surgery is for people that are lazy, and just like all the preconceived notions that everyone has about weight loss surgery. So I messaged her on Facebook and I was like, listen, I know you were fat and I am also fat. How do we stop being fat, basically?
Mm-hmm.
And she referred me to the bariatric surgeon's office that I went to, and I went to a free seminar. And in that time, I found Instagram because I searched like the hashtag VSG. And I was like, holy smokes. Like, look at all these people. These are real people that have surgery, and they like people that don't, because you always hear like everyone, when you bring up weight loss surgery, they're like, oh, my sister's cousin's brother had that and lost 100 pounds and then he gained it all back and blah, blah, blah. That's like what everyone brings up when you try to talk to them about weight loss surgery.
I know, so it's so fucking annoying every time they do that.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, thanks. Okay. Thanks for the only thing you know about it is being negative.
Yeah. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Thanks so much.
Yeah. So I found all these people on Instagram, and I was like, oh my God, these are real people that are actually successful with this and like open about their stories. And like you, even if you regain, it's not like you have to be there forever, those types of things. So I ended up making an Instagram, and I had surgery 6 months after my first pre-op appointment, technically. So I had surgery in March 29th, I think, the 29th of 2018. So I'm like almost 10 months post-op. And I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and I also had a gigantic hiatal hernia that they repaired at the same time. So that's how I got to where I'm at now.
Great.
Do I have to say my stats?
No.
I can. I don't care. It's on Instagram, though.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Whatever you want.
My highest recorded weight was 305 pounds. And the day of surgery, I was 292. And currently, I'm 199.2.
Aw, yeah. You just hit, for those of you who don't know, this is called Wonderland. Starts spelled with O-N-E, Wonderland. So we're so excited for Miranda. Oh my God.
Yes.
You hit it.
Finally.
I saw in your story, though, that you were like, no, that's only because I weighed myself after I pooed and didn't have clothes on. And I was like, Miranda, please.
Bitch, it counts.
Well, it's if I leave my house and if anyone happens to ever pick me up or weigh me, they'd be like, nah, bitch, you still 200 pounds. That's how.
No.
It's not like I'm just wandering around nude.
That's like the same logic you have with like the fact that you were a 14 and you were like, no, I'm still an 18. And I'm like, no. You're like a 14. I think you even fit into the 12s.
Yeah, I bought a pair of 12s.
Okay.
Oh, Miranda. So can you give some backstory on that? Because I don't know if our listeners have followed your Sisterhood of the Traveling Smaller Pants.
Do you want me to give the backstory or Ellie?
Ellie, you were there.
Okay, so Miranda, forever and a day, was like, I've lost 80 pounds and I still wear size 18s. So we, at the weight loss surgery meetup, it was Mitch Sleeved. She brought her like 800 different pairs of, or by 800 I mean only 3 different pairs of different sized pants.
She had so many clothes with her though. She was so well prepared for everything.
She was so well prepared, and she was like, I will prove to you today, Miranda, that you are not a size 18. And she brought out a 16, she brought out a 14, and a 12. And she had Miranda try on all 3, and Miranda fit into the 12 perfectly, might I add.
And then what did Miranda say?
She said, no.
I was just like, I don't think so.
She's like, oh, you took her 16s, right?
Yeah, I did. They're like, oh, you fit into the 12s. You can just, Michelle's like, you can just have them. And I was like, I'll take these 16s. And everyone's just like, what?
I'm like, we're like, at least the 14s, Miranda. And you're like, nah, 16s.
Well, yeah. It's hard. It's hard for me to fathom what's happening all the time. And I know everyone talks about like having body dysmorphia, but it is so much worse than I thought it was going to be in the beginning when I was like pre-op and seeing people be like, I just can't believe that I'm a size 12. And I'm like, oh, shut up. Just enjoy it. But it's like, now that I'm living that, I'm like, I
can't believe I'm a size 12.
Yeah. Like but my brain is like when I picked up the size 12s, I'm like, my body is not fitting in these pants. And then all of a sudden they're just like, whoop, on my body. And I was like, what is happening? Who am I?
Yeah. What do you think has been the most challenging part of this? I know journey is overused, but it's like the best descriptor. What do you think has been the most challenging part of this journey for you?
I was really sick in the beginning. Not a lot of people talk about having complications, but because of my hernia, I actually had a mesh put in to stop it from popping back out of place. That's the only way I know how to describe it. And for the first 3 months, I was like violently ill because everything was so swollen. It was like I couldn't drink, nothing would stay down. Stay down's not the right word. I wasn't throwing up. It wouldn't go down because everything was so swollen. It was like closed, basically. So every time I tried to drink, my diaphragm would like spasm, and they tried to give me pills. And it got to the point where I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna die because I don't. It's too hard. I was like, I don't want to try to shove more protein drinks down. I hate the protein drinks. I can't drink any water. I hate everything. It was so bad. I was so regretful for so long. And then my husband, who's a paramedic, he like gave me IV fluids. He's like, you need to go to the doctor. Like, this isn't normal. People don't have complications for this long. And I was like, it's my own fault. I did this to myself, blah, blah, blah. Just like, everyone feel bad for me. And he was like, no, just go to the fucking doctor. So I went to the doctor, and then they referred me to like an infusion place, which I know some other people that have had to do that too in the beginning. And they were like, here's some steroids. And then magically everything was better because steroids are the best thing that's ever happened to the world.
I remember like watching you go through that, and like, you know, as someone who had like a very easy recovery, I was like, you know, it sucks because, you know, having complications is like a statistic of the surgery, but people either don't talk about it or whatever. But I'm glad you survived and didn't die.
I didn't just lay over and die like I wanted to. I was like, this is too hard.
Shout out to Miranda's husband
for keeping me alive. He was so like, my husband is so supportive and everything. And he was just like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, just leave me alone. I'm just going to stay here and die.
Let me die.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm a paramedic, so I can't.
Yeah, so we were like trying to go to a concert in Chicago or something, and he hooked me up to an IV when we were on our way there. And then he's like, you're not dying today. We're going to this concert, and when we get back, we're going to the doctor.
You can die tomorrow, okay?
My favorite part, I know it's like you were like suffering and stuff, but my favorite part was all of your updates of like, I was able to eat 3 cheesy Fiesta potatoes today.
Within 24 hours, it was crazy. 24 hours after having steroids, I went from eating like 200 calories of protein shakes to like 800 calories of like the pureed soft stage food. It was like that was the best thing that's ever happened. But the bad thing with steroids was like, then I stalled for almost 6 weeks or something because you like get swollen with steroids. So then I was like, great. Now I had a 3-month window of losing weight, and now I'm never losing weight again.
Just leave me here to die.
Yeah, it's just really dramatic all the time about everything. So that was like that was probably the hardest part of the whole journey. And then now the like dealing with when people talk about why all the reasons why they had surgery, when I think about why I had surgery, that's like hard for me to come to terms with now, because I feel like one of the major reasons I had surgery was because everyone was like, you can't be fat in the world, basically. And that's sad. I feel sad for myself that I let external pressures like do that to me, and it makes me question how much I'm letting outside influence affect my life currently. So that's I have no idea what, I'm still processing all that, and I don't know. I haven't come to terms with anything, but everyone's like, oh, I had, like, Ellie, like, you have PCOS or like another health related issue as to why you would have surgery. And I was just like, oh, I'm fat and don't want to be fat anymore. How do we do this?
Which is still a valid reason.
Right.
Yeah, and also I think all of us would agree, like, if you are happy, like, I know I had surgery because I like a more active life that I wasn't able to have at the weight that I was.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't like, I didn't hate my body. I wasn't unhappy with my body. But I think, like you, Miranda, I do look back and I'm thinking, like, you know, was it necessary for me to have surgery? And did I have surgery just for me, or was society a factor in having surgery? So I can like relate to that. And I think all of us would agree that, like, if you are happy with whatever body that you're living in, like, keep on with your bad self. Like,
yeah,
no one telling you to have weight.
Right.
Unless your doctors are, in which case they can mind their business. I don't know.
Well, obviously, like, visceral fat around your organs is never good. But, like, wasn't pre-diabetic, didn't have PCOS. Like, there was, I didn't really have mobility issues. I'm not saying that stuff wouldn't develop over time, but it is easier to exist in the world as a thinner person, which is so upsetting. And being 100 pounds down now, it's just like, I notice that a lot. Like, people treat you differently. People are more expectant of you in different ways. Like, everyone assumes because you're fat, you're just a slob, or you're lazy, or you don't care about yourself, or so which translates to you're not going to do a good job, and blah blah blah, which is so dumb. Like, fat people are just fat. It is what it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're lazy slobs. I don't get that. I don't get that connection, because as a fat person, I didn't hate my body. I was just like, oh, I'm fat. This is my life, whatever. But then it was just like more and more as I got fatter and fatter. I was like, I'm uncomfortable now. Like, I don't want people looking at me. I don't want any attention on me, and just like slowly just trying to disappear into the background. And that was when I was like, meh, this isn't what I want in my life.
Yeah.
But it's because how other people treat you.
Do you have any like specific examples of, like, since losing a bunch of weight, how you've been treated differently?
So the company that I work for now, I had worked there previously for 2 years, left, and then came back right after I had surgery. I was 6 weeks post-op. So all the people there knew me for 2 years, and being back now, I know I'm in a different role this time, but everyone treats me differently. I've gotten more thank you notes and like recognition and shout outs and stuff in the last however long I've been back, 10 or so months, than I did 2 years prior to that. And like, I'm working just as hard as I was before. And that's so annoying to me, because I'm just like, I was awesome 2 years ago and none of you cared. And now all of a sudden, I don't know. But that goes both ways. Some people are like, oh, it's just because you exude more confidence. But I had my the closest coworker I have, we've talked, and she's like, I don't think you act any different. And I was like, yeah, I'm just skinnier now, so people talk to me more, which is annoying.
Mm-hmm. It just shows that, like, in society, I guess people just assume all these horrible things about fat people, which is like, why? Or they assume that we're all jolly, you know?
Yes.
Like, I'm just as angry as all of you. Just
I know. And then it's like, oh, she's fat, therefore she's always angry. And it's like, no, I just hate people in general, and I still hate them at this weight and size.
Yes.
You know?
That's me now. Like, I still I don't know. I get like people trying to small talk with me more, and I hate small talk. I hate it.
Oh, me too.
People are, like, trying to talk to me all the time, and I'm like looking around and like, are you talking to me? Because I do not want to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
it's more
can
because
we talk about like your worst fears, or like how you wish you would die, or like I don't want to talk about the fucking weather. Like, no.
My thing, I hate small talk. Like, I hate like going to family functions and like seeing people, and you have to pretend you can remember who they are, and like your parents are like, oh, that's Aunt Susie from your grandpa's side, who used to bathe you once in the river and then dropped you on your head or whatever. And you're like, I see this person once every 10 years. Like, I don't care and I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? I'm sorry.
No. It's just
It's not.
why no one cares. If everyone says, "How was your weekend?" You just say good and they say good and then you just move on with your life. That's not real personal connection with anybody whatsoever. That's so shallow, surface level shit that I don't have time for. I don't care. Like
Miranda, you are speaking to my soul. Oh my God.
Unless-
my emotions are reserved for people that I actually genuinely care about and care about me. That's the only thing I want to put my energy into.
Yeah. As someone who has such a large family that I can't even keep up with how many cousins I have just, in general, like I can understand what you're saying. I'm like, I've never met you. Why do I need to talk to you again? Oh, hi.
Yeah. Just like, related. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, just because I'm related to someone, like, if I were to ever get married and actually have a wedding, like, just because I'm related to you does not mean you're getting an invite to my wedding. Like, fuck.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm not paying for a fucking open bar for you if I've never been drunk with you. Hell no.
That's a good way to, like, decipher wedding guests.
Right?
So,
well, if I ever get married, if I ever get married, which I don't know will happen, I'm going to definitely have, like, a brunch wedding and, like, get day drunk. But anyways, Miranda, tell us about your wedding.
I was 19 when I got married, so I was like, fuck all of you. I'm not having an open bar. First of all, I'm not legally allowed to pay for it. And second of all, I can't even drink. So our wedding was like 100 people because nobody wanted to come because it was a cash bar.
Hey, cheaper.
Yeah.
That's still a lot of people for a wedding.
Yeah, but it was also because I would talk to like my grandma and she's like, you have to invite your cousin Shirley and your third cousin Jack. Like the guest list got out of hand quickly, and it was just because my grandma's like, you have to invite all these people, and I was like, why? I don't even know them. And she's like, because it's not just about you, it's about your family. And I was like, it's my wedding that I'm paying for.
Yeah, like maybe if someone else pays for it, like maybe you have like one say, but like nah, fam, nah.
Did your grandma
in like a wedding off?
Did your grandma end up saying the thing that my grandparents said? Well, I'm not gonna be here forever, so
no,
I need to see people.
Pull that card. It got to the point where we like whittled the list down, and I was like, does so and so really have to come? I don't even know who that is. And she'd be like, no, I mean, I guess not. But I was like, okay, because the venue only holds 125, so.
I'm a member of the elusive Dead Grandparents Club, and I know that's not funny, but they've been like, I lost them they've been gone for a long time. So like, me and my friend who also has all dead grandparents are like made this club in college, and so if anyone else is in the Dead Grandparents Club, shout out.
Here, I'm right here. Hi.
Oh, hey, Ellie.
Hey.
We meet every Wednesday. Please bring a bottle of wine.
Yeah, we meet every Wednesday to knit because no one knits for.
Because our grandparents are dead.
Yeah, they're dead. I laugh so I don't cry, okay? Anyways, that got dark. So talking about weddings and dead grandparents and stuff. So you have a husband. So how do you think going on this journey has like impacted your relationship at all or anything like that?
Yes. But so we have better sex. That's real.
Woo! Yeah.
But I feel like my husband is sometimes a little insecure because I'm changing, and he's like worried that I'm going to leave him because it's like statistically that happens a lot after people go through a major change or lose a bunch of weight. Especially you see it all over Instagram. People are like, I'm going to need a divorce, or like when people are doing those tell me your secrets thing, and everyone's like, I want to leave my husband. I'm like, oh, can't relate. But he is worried about it though. I know he's worried about it because like when I was wanting to get my nose pierced or like I put my eyebrow ring back in or all that stuff, he's like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? And I was like, I just don't know who I am anymore. I'm just testing things out. And he's like, well, you're not gonna leave me, are you? And he's never been insecure in our relationship. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like no, like, why would you even bring it up?
It's an eyebrow ring, bro.
Yeah. So he is a lot more insecure this now, but I think it's because he notices how people treat me differently, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, if William, if you're listening, you don't have anything to worry about, and I love you forever and always.
That's. I would be like, you're stuck with me, motherfucker.
As a witness to this, I remember like by day 2 at the weight loss meetup, you turned to me and you were like, I just miss my husband's face. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's weird. Like, we've been together for so long. We've been together since I was 16. And we've been married since I was 19. And I'm now almost 29. So there's a lot of codependency happening there, which is also unhealthy. And I tried to tell him that. He's like, I don't think it's a problem that we just want to spend all waking hours together. And I was like, yeah, that's a problem. There's no borders there or boundaries.
I mean, it's good that you want to spend time with the person that you're married to.
I know, but you also still have to be your own person. That's why I went to the Orlando meetup. That is so out of my comfort zone because I would never do anything without William ever. I was just like, I'd rather spend all my free time with him. You know what I mean? That's how it's always been for the last, however, 12, 13 years or whatever. And when I got on Instagram and I started getting more than one follower, I was like, oh, these people must be relating to what I'm saying and that there's other like-minded people out there. So then when the Orlando meetup came around, I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I was like, just kidding, I'm not going to do it. And then I was like, I'm going to do it. And then when we finally got the first room together, which it was unfortunate that didn't work out with our original roomies. Ellie and I originally had 2 other roommates, and then they couldn't go because whatever reason. And then it worked out fine because we got Michelle and Abby out of that. But I remember the day before, I was like, do I really want to go? This is so... it goes to the, on a personal level or a skin deep level, I don't want those kinds of relationships. So I was like, am I going to go here and meet all these people and I just have small talk with them, or am I going to go there and build connections with people? You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of money to go. And then if you don't connect with anybody, you're like, well, I just wasted $800 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I got there and I met Ellie, I was like, oh, thank God. Because I was really worried about it. I was like, what if I go there and I hate all these people and I'm stuck with them for the weekend?
And then small talk for a whole weekend.
Oh, kill me.
Just give me steroids and take me out.
But going there without my husband, that was a big thing for me. And he was like, no, you should go. Go and make friends. And I was like, but I don't want to make friends. You're my only friend. So... yeah, that was awesome though. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be for sure.
Mm-hmm. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's why we're going to New York.
Are you? Oh yeah. Are you? Yeah.
Miranda, are you going to New York?
I'm not. When is it? I don't even know what it is.
The end of March, so it's gonna be cold as fuck. Still, probably, because the northern tundra.
Yeah.
So if anyone else is going to New York,
they also meet
Go ahead.
There is a pizza, Miranda, that I told Sarah to eat last time, and she just laughed at me and didn't go eat it.
Wait,
in
what?
New York?
Yeah.
I would never laugh at pizza first.
It was a grilled cheese and tomato soup pizza, okay? And I told Sarah to go eat it. And she was just like, LOL, we'll try, and then didn't go.
Didn't even try.
But here's the thing. I was wasted the entire weekend. That weekend fucked me up for 2 weeks. I'm not joking.
That was so funny. Oh, I just was thinking about Sarah and I Sarah was the first person on Instagram that I gave my phone number to and actually texted outside of Instagram. And the reason Sarah and I bonded was because when everyone went to the Vegas meetup around this time last year, we were on there posting pictures, pretending we were there and pretending we were in on the drama.
Oh my god, I can't believe okay, this is bringing everything back. We took selfies and put in emoji drinks and
yeah.
Oh, that was a good time.
And then I remember watching Sarah at the New York meetup, and I was like, I could have went. I should have went. And that's why I went to the Orlando meetup. And then Sarah didn't even go to the Orlando meetup.
I know. Oh, I suck. I was like, you know what? Okay, so originally, it's a long story. It's not a long story. Originally, my boyfriend was going to go, and then he, ended up going to Orlando, a few weekends before, and I was like, he's like, well, I'll still go if you want to. And I'm like, this motherfucker, not in a bad way, but like I'm gonna make him go again, and then I should have just gone. Fuck it, you know.
You should have just come.
Anyway, I should have came. But, yeah, New York was a shit show, but like in the best way. And the only thing that I feel bad about, anyone listening, if you have the opportunity, even if you've not had weight loss surgery, look up weight loss meetups and like try to go, even if it's a local one, because it is such a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
My only regret at the New York meetup was like I was wasted the entire time, and like I didn't have a sober conversation with like anyone. So I feel bad because, you know, in hindsight, like, hey, Sarah, you're 30 years old, maybe like be sober for a second. But I was like, nah. But anyways, it was a lot of fun, but man, I forgot about them. We've been friends for a year.
I know.
That's so crazy. I've probably been friends with Ellie for a year too.
Yeah, I came in a little late though, but I was just messaging you guys like, please be my friend. Hi, I feel the same way too.
And me and Miranda were like, who's this Ellie bitch? We don't want to be friends.
The one time I knew that like I would actually be friends with Ellie. I remember this too. I have a terrible memory about things that matter, but I remember things like this. I was actually pre-op when I first started talking to Ellie too. And everyone on Instagram was, I don't even know what product it was. Quest cookies, cookie butter shakes, some weird product had exploded on Instagram, and everyone was doing like reviews of it. And I had gone on there and I was like, hello, and today I'm going to do a review of tap water. I was like, well, like long-awaited review. And then I took a drink out of the water or something. And I was like, it's so good. And Ellie responded and all she said was, God bless you. And I just remember that and I was like, yep, this is my person. This is my type of people.
Oh, man.
I think we were both just very annoyed about that thing that came out or whatever.
I don't even know what it was. I don't even remember now.
Neither
this
do
would have
I.
been like in March of last year or something.
Like Quest chips or something?
Or like the fucking Quest bars that are all disgusting. Stop pretending they're good, everybody. Sarah with the stupid white chocolate raspberry. That shit's not good.
Sorry, I will have to respectfully disagree. But the thing is, I think my taste buds have changed. Like, I think I'm so used to like the nasty protein taste because like I'll like introduce it to my family. I'll be like, Dad, this is great, right? And my dad's like, no, this is horrible. He's like, what are you smoking, my daughter?
Yeah.
I can say that Quest has some good products,
Lies.
but they all make me fart like crazy.
Oh, hell yeah.
So therefore, I do not like to eat Quest very often because I have to
Because that's
interact
how
with
they get-
people.
That's how they get their net carbs so low. They're like, let's put all this fiber in here that you don't need, so you just shit your brains out. Like, okay, that's also not healthy, everybody.
That's basically the Atkins like peanut butter cups and like M&Ms.
Oh yeah, this isn't free anything.
I think I ate a whole bag of like their M&M bag things that they had because it comes in little single size packets. And I walked into the aisle at Target and I almost shit my pants. Like I was just trying to shop there and I was like, oh no! And I had to like run to the bathroom because it's just like it. And I had one time 2 peanut butter cups. I think it was after the conversation with Sarah when I first bought them. I was like, Sarah, I just got the peanut butter cups. Are they good? And you're like, they're okay. And then I
have like a bit package of them in my fridge right now. Anyways,
I had 2 of them. And then I went to go do something and I almost shit my pants in front of a bunch of people. And I was like, oh, like it was like a weird, like I kind of had to fart. So I was trying to crop dust type of thing. And then I was like, no.
Yeah, I can't, like, sugar-free anything does that to me. I can't. It's a game over. I'm just like, it's not worth it. It's not worth the gastrointestinal misery that for 5 seconds of pretending like it's real chocolate.
speak for yourself. It's like
unpopular opinion time.
Yeah, I guess
Ellie
I'm like the. Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You just came back in.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. We weren't sure if we lost you or if you're just ignoring us.
Ellie, edit this out. Ellie, edit this out.
What was that?
What?
Okay, well, I can't remember what I was saying.
Oh, sugar-free shitting your pants.
Oh yeah, sugar-free. Yeah. I'm like.
Have you ever shit?
Oh yeah. Have I ever shit my pants?
Yeah, in public.
In public? No, definitely not. But I did once. Miranda, you were an FFA, so but so in high school I was in FFA, which is like, you know, the cool kids club or whatever. And I went to the state fair one year, and so my parents would give me like $10 for the day. So that was enough for like some breadsticks at the cheapest place and like a large soda that had free refills, right? And so when we were at the state fair, we would take an hour bus drive back. And of course, my dumbass, like I had drank this like 32-ounce of soda like 3 times that day. And then I like filled it up for the ride home, you know, trying to get my money's worth, you know? And on the ride back, like we're getting off the exit where I live, and like I'm like, there's like a McDonald's right there. So I was like, okay. And I told my the bus driver, who's the advisor of the FFA, whatever, I was like, I'm okay, I can make it, because it's like, you know, a mile to the school from the exit. And we pull into the parking lot of the school, and everything just came out. So I'm in 10th grade, and I pissed myself. It wasn't just like a little. It was like
you had like 100 ounces of soda. And you're
like 100 ounces of piss was just running out of me. So, you know, I'm in 10th grade, so I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. And I try to like, you know, I pick up the cup, and I was like, okay, I'm going to spill the cup to make it seem like I spilled my soda. Yeah. I drank all the soda, so your bitch couldn't do that, because there's like a drop left in there because everything was already inside my bladder. Oh my God. With my own urine. My friend had to give me a ride home, and she was like,
and you're covered in piss.
Covered in piss. She had to get gas on the way home, so I'm sitting on it.
Wait, did people see you?
No, I was staying in the car while she was getting gas, but I was like sitting on a garbage bag, and she's like, "Don't move." I'm like, so that's the story of how a 10th grader pissed herself in high school.
I'm thinking
so great, you know.
I'm thinking of Billy Madison. It's cool to pee your pants.
And then afterwards, I'm like, okay, I need to like Olivia Pope this shit, right? And so I ended up like telling all my friends, because I was like, hey, guess what? I pissed myself, because I wanted to get out ahead of it, you know. Anyways, that was a long-winded story, but that's the story of how Sarah loves soda so much she pissed herself.
One time I pissed my pants on purpose in public.
What?
Yeah.
It
was also in 10th grade. And I was actually at the fair, the county fair. I wasn't there with FFA, but a lot of my friends were in 4-H because there's nothing else to do besides apparently raise animals in Michigan. But we were at the fair, and it was my one friend's 16th birthday, and we were in like the midway of the fair or whatever, and she was like, okay, for my birthday, Miranda, I want you to pee your pants right here. And I was like, you don't think I will? And she was like, no, you won't. I was like, I'll piss my pants right here. So I just like peed my pants in the middle of the fairground.
You're a great friend.
Yeah, someone has pictures of it somewhere, because we had disposable cameras, because that's all we had. This was 2005 or something. There's pictures of it, but she tells everybody that to this day. Like, I'm not really friends with her anymore, but at my high school reunion, she was telling everyone about it. She's like, that's the only birthday present I ever remember receiving from anybody, was when Miranda pissed her pants at the fair.
Oh, that is, oh my God.
I can't relate to pissing in my pants. Sorry, guys.
So, you know who's the uncool one here? If you just pissed your pants in high school, either on purpose or not on purpose.
We meet on Wednesdays after the dead
we meet on the pissy bus on the way to the county fair.
Now I wish I pissed my pants. I want to relate to this story.
Somebody will relate. But there's also close calls I'm sure people have had.
I can relate to shitting my pants several times in my adult life, but I can't remember.
Man, I wish I shit my pants.
I don't think I've ever shit my pants in public. Definitely at home.
Tell us the story of shitting your pants, please.
Okay, well, the first time, I was just recently put on metformin, and I didn't know that you couldn't eat certain foods.
I've heard horror stories of this drug.
Metformin is the devil. I don't know why they tell people to take it, but it is the literal worst thing you can take. It makes you literally shit your pants, even though you're perfectly fine and just standing straight and not doing anything. Okay, take it a little personal. It's been just sitting. Oh, I think I shit my pants.
My own business.
Yeah, it's like, I think I just shit myself. It's like I didn't even fart. It's just it came out. It's one of those.
Not even gambling on a fart and losing. You just are actually just sitting there and all of a sudden you shit with no warning.
Yeah, but it's not like a full shit. It's like a little shit, so you can catch it and you can be like, oh.
I'm so glad that this has come to this.
We needed you here for this.
Yeah.
But I remember being around all of my friends in Barnes & Nobles, in the upstairs Barnes & Nobles, and I didn't know that the bathroom upstairs was closed. So I was there in in my thin ass old school leggings. I had just taken I had just taken my 2,000 milligrams or whatever throughout the day of metformin. Not extended release, by the way, because that one at least let me shit in the morning. But no, the regular metformin. And I was just sitting there talking about some book, literally just mid-sentence, a little shart happened. And I was like, huh? I didn't, because I didn't know what was happening. I was like, huh? And my friends just all looked at me and I was like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom, guys. And I tried to run into the bathroom. Yeah, in my fucking thin, I was like, oh my God, they can see it. Oh my God, what is happening? And the bathroom was closed, so I had to somehow make it downstairs as I was still shitting my pants. It was not a good time. But luckily my thin ass leggings did not seep it through, so I was like, thank God.
Praise.
Thank you, Jesus.
But I threw away those underwear, so I was free balling it for the rest of the night.
Oh yeah.
And then I was scared it was gonna happen again, because then I wouldn't be able to leave.
And then went down your leg.
Go without any pants.
Yeah. I had to go to my car and get an extra sweater and tie it around my waist just in case I shit my pants so that I couldn't see it.
How old were you?
21.
Oh, okay.
Or older. I don't remember. I shit my pants so many times on metformin, it's not even funny. My friend and I coined it the metformin moments because she would just look at me and I'd have this face of horror.
It's it's happening. It's on Brad's face.
Yes.
Look away.
It's just coming out of me like lava.
Basically, it's hot lava. Sorry, I'm getting too detailed, but it's just you don't know what's happening. And one time it's just you're just standing there and it's just it comes out and you're like, what is I'm sick. I'm a sick person. What's happening?
Dying.
And then I went to my
You're,
doctor.
Trying to make noise to distract people.
Yeah, and they didn't tell me this would happen, so I went to the doctor the week later. And I was like, I shit my pants in public. I'm 21 years old. This is not okay. And they were like, yeah, that happens with the medicine. And I'm like, then why did you give it to me? I can't leave my house because I think I'm going to shit.
Why didn't you warn me at all?
I was like, first of all, what have I done to you to deserve this?
You think that would be something you'd tell me? I don't know.
They just said that I would probably have a little bit of indigestion. But that's not what I thought that would be.
Indigestion of the ball.
It's metformin is a roller coaster. I have so many I shit my pants stories as an adult that I'm not very proud of, but we're past that now.
You should be proud, okay? We're talking about it on a podcast, so basically.
It's here forever. Hi, future employers. Know that I shit my pants back in the day.
Ellie, edit this out.
Oh, God.
I think we've lost all of the listeners at this point.
Oh yeah,
they're just
they're like, oh God,
we'll deal with pee. Not shit.
One of my managers at work follows my Instagram, and every time I'm posting on there, and she'll talk to me the next day about it. It's so awkward because I'll come in the next day, she'll be like, oh, I saw you hit Wonderland, and then she'll be like, guess what? I found crumpets today, and I'm just I told her I was going to be on the podcast. I was like, please don't listen. This is so awkward for me and someone in real life to be like, hey, listen to your podcast. Hi.
Yeah. I heard you pissed your pants.
Yeah, I heard you pissed your pants at the county fair.
What if that was like a county fair contest or something? Yo, if it was a state fair contest, I would have taken the gold, baby. Like the volume. Anyways, okay. This is great. So what if? Do we want to get back on track, or do we want to keep shit talking? So what would you say were your goals when you set out? When you got your stomach cut out, for example?
Well, the first goal was don't die. You have to try to fight to live.
You almost didn't make that goal.
I almost didn't. I was just like, take me now. It's not worth it. I don't care anymore. I regret this decision. Oh, can I say something else that is like, I think Sarah and I have talked about this before, but the fact that I didn't know that I would have a staple line in my stomach. Like, I had watched videos of the surgery before I went and had it, and literally like the day before, or maybe it was Ellie and I, or no, it was Phoebe, Phoebe Sleeved? What is it? I don't even know her username. Anyway, I was like, I'd watched videos before I went into surgery, and like I understood, but then like the last pre-op appointment I had before my surgery, he like got the little stapler out and was like showing it to me, and I was like, whoa, there's gonna be staples in my stomach? I was like, for how long? And he was like, forever. And I was like, what? And he's like, what did you think happened? And I was like, I thought there were dissolvable stitches or something. I didn't realize I was gonna have a fucking staple line. And he was like, are you serious? He's like, your surgery's tomorrow. What are you doing?
I didn't know that until like 6 months after my surgery. So please, just I felt so stupid, like, because they were like, yeah, because, you know, do you feel the staples in your stomach? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you have like 100 fucking titanium staples in your stomach.
Okay, well, I didn't know, but I was just like, what do you, like, because they were like, do the staples, like, irritate you? And I'm like, what kind of a question is that? I don't have staples in my stomach, and I had to look it up, and I was just so mad. I was like, no one told me this. I mean,
anyway, so the first step was surviving the 100 staples. That was the first goal. Try not to die. Sarah, do you have anything to input into the staple conversation before I moved on?
No, I mean, I knew that I was going to have staples in my stomach.
but I still don't believe it, but whatever.
You don't believe that I knew I had staples?
I don't believe both, that I have them and that you knew that you were going to have them.
I mean, I'm so crazy.
I watched videos and everything and just like never.
I watch videos, but they show the little thing that's sealing the stomach up, and that's the staples.
I know, but I don't know what I thought.
I thought what Miranda thought. I was like, oh, it's just like things that dissolve. Nope.
And then I was like, what happens when I'm old? He's like, the staples will still be there.
They're there forever.
Anyway, goals. Sorry, I keep sidetracking us. So survive. Check. We got that one done. And then my surgeon didn't really give me a goal weight. He said you'll roughly lose 90 pounds based on if you lose 60% of your body weight or whatever, they consider you a success. And I've lost 105, so that's pretty good. And then I made a weight goal of 190 pounds because I was smarter than Sarah and didn't do 175.
Good thinking.
I'm just kidding.
Well, you are smarter than me because
but you're also taller, so yours is crazy. I don't know. That's gonna be. You're gonna be. You're gonna.
I know. I'm an idiot.
If you lose more weight, you're gonna look sick because that's what people say.
Yeah. I was like, and the thing is, like, now that I look back on it, I was like 175 pounds when I like pissed on the bus. So like, I'm going back to like 10th grade weight, and I'm like, that you are so dumb. But so your goal was 190 because you're intelligent, like not like me.
190 was arbitrarily made just so that I'm in the overweight category, not obese anymore. So that's it. I do remember being 190 also in 10th grade. So my goal is my 10th grade weight as well. But
stop rubbing it in, okay?
You'll get there. But if you don't, that's also fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not bothered about it. You know.
Just change your mind now and say that your goal is 185.
Yeah, that's definitely
I would also like to pretend like I'm active and fit, but I also am lazy. So there's that. I would like to try to do like a Warrior Dash or a Spartan race or something like that, but I don't want to either. I don't know. Like part of me is like, because I did the whole Couch to 5K program, like after, when I had steroids and then all of a sudden I could take on the world, I started Couch to 5K and I finished the program. And then after that, I was just like, I ran a 5K and then I was like, I'm done. Like didn't continue to do it. I don't know. I did find enjoyment in that though. So fitness goal, maybe do like a Warrior Dash. But other than that, I have 9.2 pounds to lose until I'm at my weight goal.
Woohoo!
Maybe.
You could do the Olympics.
Uh-huh.
What's that?
It's a work in progress. Don't worry about it.
Ellie, edit this out. It's top secret.
Yeah, we're
it's not.
You know, no, it's not. We talked about it. We've talked about it. Basically, it's like the Olympics, but for former fatties or current fatties, and basically, it's where we just like go to the Orlando. What is it called? Food and Wine Festival, where like you run a 5K and then you eat all the food and drink all the wine.
Mm-hmm.
So the Olympics,
Or something else that people can do.
or something. Yeah, that's probably more feasible.
Yeah, we're trying to flesh it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll basically be just like the Olympics, where like millions and millions of people watch, but not, you know.
Yeah, millions combined. I think we have over
Maybe
10,000 followers, maybe.
I'm like hundreds.
I mean, there will be dozens of
Dozens of people watching.
dozens. If anyone listens or watches Arrested Development, that's a shout out. Dozens.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that's my goals. I don't know. I need to go to a therapist. I think everybody does, but I would like to try to sort out my brain a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that should have been my goal this year, but maybe next year.
Get your shit together.
Maybe hindsight will be 2020 something, whatever therapy.
Miranda, as somebody who loves carbs, is there something that maybe you would want to tell people out of surgery about carbs or whatever? Because I know that people after surgery or even like during weight loss process are just terrified of fucking carbs. Is there something that you would like to enlighten us with?
Yes. This is from my bariatric office, my dietitian, and my surgeon. They have the mindset of you're going to have to do this for the rest of your life. If you think you can live your whole life on a low carb diet, then go ahead and do it. However, I know that I want to eat bagels and donuts and crumpets and English muffins, and that's not realistic for me. So the very beginning of surgery, it was just about like setting yourself up with habits that you can take through. This is for your whole life. It's not just like 1 year and you're done and then I'll stay skinny forever. No, you have to maintain this forever. And my surgeon's office was like, when I brought up that I'm on Instagram and I was like, all these people are on like keto, and my dietitian was like, no, like, do you want to never eat carbs again? And I was like, no, not really. And she's like, then don't worry about it. Like, if you're using carbs as energy, you need them as energy. Like that's what your body's doing. And when you do something like keto and you're using fat, okay, no, I'm not a keto expert. I'm just saying whatever my dietitian told me. So if you're in keto and you're using fat as energy before the carbs or whatever, you're depriving your body of carbs, making you use your fat. That's all well and good, but as soon as you introduce carbohydrates back into your diet at all, you're just going to fuck everything up again. And yes, people have success with keto, and if it's working for you and it's something that you can stick to because you really enjoy a high-fat diet, moderate protein and extremely low carb, perfect. Do what works for you, but I know that I'm going to eat bread. So I've always I've eaten carbs since the beginning, and that was not something my dietitian was ever like, don't eat carbs. The macros I got from my dietitian are like 50% carbs and then like 30-30 on the other stuff, fat and protein. So it's more about just being at the calorie deficit anyway. And my dietitian also, they were like immediately trying to get everybody, because we were in like groups of people. So when I go to a dietitian, sometimes I'm with a group of like 3 other people that had surgery at the same time as me. So you can talk to them too and ask them how things are going. But they're pushing everybody to get up to like 1,200 calories as soon as possible again. And I remember when I was like 6 months post-op and I was eating like between 1,200 and 1,400 calories, and people were still eating 800 calories. I think Ellie and you and I talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, I'm only supposed to be eating 800 calories, and I was like, whoa, am I doing something wrong? Like, this is crazy. But you can also damage your metabolism if you're at a deficit for too long. So one of the benefits of having weight loss surgery is it's actually like a metabolic surgery as well. So it's supposed to reboot your metabolism basically after years of damage. So you don't want to be at a deficit, too much of a deficit for too long, because then your body's like, oh, we're only ever going to get 800. So we're just going to hold on to everything because we're starving. So it's like I know that was long-winded, but like, you don't have to eat 800 calories and no carbs for the rest of your life and not lose weight.
Right.
Or to lose weight, sorry. Like, that's not,
that's well said.
Training your body to use the fuel that you're giving it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, especially on Instagram, people share like before and after like food pictures.
Yeah.
And to me, like, it always gave me so much insecurity because I'm like, I must have like the big Bertha of sleeves because like I can eat so much more than that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like there's a few days of the month where I'm like, I feel a lot of restriction like after my period, but like, I think a lot of the surgery is about just rebuilding healthy lifelong habits. So like you said, like if you think that keto is a sustainable lifestyle for you, like go on with your bad self.
Yep.
But like Miranda said, like Mama loves some cheesy Fiesta potatoes. So like I can't like that's not something like if I stay at 185 for the rest of my life and I have a cheesy Fiesta potato once or twice a month, like that's my life, yo. Like I've accepted it. Something that I wanted to bring up because there's a little bit of turf war here, Miranda.
It doesn't matter. No one can find crumpets anyway.
I know. That's the gag, isn't it? No. You're the crumpet crew queen, and I'm the rice cake goddess, I guess we could call it.
I would like to make an announcement right here, right now. You can get crumpets at Trader Joe's. However, they're not refrigerated there. They're by the bread. Shout out to everybody. I'm making the announcement now. You can get them at Trader Joe's.
And you can get rice cakes anywhere. Cakes are sold.
So guess who's going to have the bigger turf?
All of us, because we can share this because it's not a real work, but we can throw down if we need to. You know, rice cakes are a little harder than crumpets, so like I could knock you out with rice cake, like a bag of rice cakes.
Can we explain for the people that don't follow us on Instagram what the hell you guys are talking about?
I guess. So, if you don't know, I love rice cakes. And you know, you have to manage your expectations with rice cakes because, you know, if you go into a rice cake thinking it's going to taste like a bagel, you're going to be disappointed every single time. But as a vessel for cream cheese or other toppings, like it's pretty dope, you know? It's dope for a rice cake, you know? You just have to manage your expectations. Miranda, do you want to talk about your crumpets?
Yes. Crumpets are a British English muffin. I don't know how else to describe it, even though English muffin makes it English. I don't know the difference. One is more, crumpets are more like a yeast based bread, so they're very airy and spongy. And they have less calories than English muffins. That was literally my only draw to it because I love English muffins and breakfast sandwiches. And I was like, hey, these have 40 less calories than English muffins. So perfect for any use that you would also use a rice cake for and an English muffin. And it's more of a bread and not hard. So you should join the crumpet crew, not the rice cake gang, even though rice cakes have like 35 calories.
But to be fair, crumpets are probably a little more delicious. Like rice cakes are okay, but like I said, you have to manage your expectations with rice cakes.
Rice cakes are definitely more about the toppings. It's just a vessel to transport cream cheese into my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, also shout out to Becca who sent me tomato basil rice cake. Like shout out to her because I couldn't find them anywhere, but you can find plain rice cakes.
Shout out to Becca.
They're on clearance at Target.
Okay, not at my Target. First of all, no, she like mailed them to me because I can't find them anywhere because I live in a tundra. Okay, but I just felt like the need to address it because you know we have a little bit of a turf war, but I can't wait to.
Literally, I've had like 3 people tag me and be like, I found crumpets, and then literally 12 other comments every day. Where are the crumpets? I can't find them. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
Listen, the British aren't this angry. It's a crumpet.
And I was like, also, you can get 100-calorie English muffin, and it's almost the same. So.
Right? No, there's not an actual or obviously.
No, there's beef. Just kidding.
There's some rice cake between us, okay? There's some crumpet between us. Not beef. Okay, so we've gone from talking about piss and shit to crumpets and rice cake. I mean, is there anything else that we need to do? You have any final thoughts, Miranda? Any advice for yourself like a year ago, or advice for listeners, or I'm gonna stop talking so you can talk now.
Advice for listeners, or like specifically someone pre-op?
No, like last thoughts, like anything you can wrap up about your experience, or like what you would tell yourself before, or whatever, however you want to end it. Anything inspirational, moving. A lot of pressure on you right now.
Give us a good tagline for the title of this episode.
Well, I already know what the episode is going to be.
Fair.
Yeah.
Basically, if you don't love yourself before you lose 100 pounds, you're not going to love yourself automatically after you lose 100 pounds. And I think when I'm on Instagram and I see all these people that are like really struggling mentally after the fact, after they've lost 100 pounds, and they're like, I just thought that everything would be so different when I lost weight. And that's something I tell people all the time. I was like, I feel exactly the same. Like, obviously it's easier to fit into small spaces, like things like that. But mentally, I feel the same. Like, I loved myself before and I love myself now. And if you are going into this thinking that it's going to change your whole outlook on yourself and your self-worth, that's not, your worth shouldn't just be about your weight and what you look like, which is so against what society wants you to believe. But you should love yourself for who you are now. And then when you're pounds, you're just like, look at all these awesome things that I can fit into now.
Wow. Well,
it died at the end there, but you get the point.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
So thank you, Miranda, for being here today.
Thank you. So we appreciate you and love you.
We may have you back, but might, because we don't really like you that much, but we're pretending to like you a lot. So.
Yeah. Only if you can talk about piss and shit.
I mean, I probably do have another piss story for another day, but it doesn't involve me. It's just like indirectly me. I was there for it.
That sounds sexual.
There's some golden showers happening, like R. Kelly stuff.
Oh no!
Let's start talking about R. Kelly. Hot topic.
Well, on that note, thank you guys so much for listening to this I'm going to call it a wonderful episode of Thick Thoughts. You can always follow us on Instagram. Miranda is MirandaLovesCarbs. I'm Sarah Donut Care. And Elliot, what is yours? The Shrinking Kitty?
The Shrinking Kitty, yes.
Yeah. We don't usually talk about peeing and pooping this much, but hey, whatever.
It just happened.
I can't explain it.
we just let loose, you know.
It was our own metformin moment.
Oh God.
So if you want to help support us, you can subscribe to the podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. We're also on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got on the podcast. I just bought my way on.
Shut up! No, you don't. Stop. We're on Patreon, so if you want to be a patron, it's patreon.com/thickthoughts. There's an extra episode every month. There's live streams. There's going to be a lot more stuff happening. We just started it, so give us some time. But you can join up and see everything happening as it happens. What else is there? What I was going to say? Oh, yeah. Just remember to rate and subscribe and comment on our iTunes page so that it could be spread along the iTunes algorithm and other people will be able to hear it. By that I mean the podcast. And I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. And again, we appreciate everyone who listens so much. You're supporting us just by listening. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much. Again, thank you so much, Miranda. Do you have any like 1 or 2 words left to say other than something about crumpets?
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Okay, bye.
And with that, bye guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.